In fact, how about if we do the cat cows with the hands on the blocks with us? Litters. So. Maybe stepping the blocks a little bit ahead, exhaling, grounding, really leaning back, throw your toes under, shift back. And then curl up and arch forward, let your hips kind of fall forward. Yep. Exhale, feel that. Round top, let the shoulders lift, and then inhale yourself forward with your chest. 43 more like that. Exhale, rounding, curling, forward, arching up. 2 more. Inhale. Inhale, the belly lifts, the chest lifts. Hold this one and turn the head to the right and left a couple times. We still have 1 more. And then head forward, peel back. This time the forehead drops down. Again, roll your head right and left a couple times. Find the middle and we'll come up. Last one. Forward. Lift your gaze. Exhale, curl back, drop the head. So finding a little bit of neutral with the spine, but the arms are still kind of forward. We're gonna pull the right hand back. So if I'm mirroring you, that would be like this. And then you're gonna take that right hand and shoot it underneath, like thread the needle. You're not gonna be able to bring your head to the floor, but you can push into both hands, kind of lift the chest and turn your head a little bit. And then take a deep breath. Let it out. 5 breaths. Right, you can have a little bit of a side bend, kind of stretching the left side of your waist. And lean a bit. Hips poke a little bit to the left. And let's pull it back. 3 more breaths. Two. One more in. Out, you exhale. Inhale, lift your chest, drag that right hand back to neutral, the arms are a bit forward, and then the other hand is gonna pull back with the block. Shooting over to the side. A little bit of pressure on the hands, and you kind of turn your chest and lean. The hips kind of dip a little bit if you want. It's up to you. How stable you keep it or how much you let the hips lean. 5 nice breaths, you kind of clamp down into the blocks. Three more breaths. In your nose. Full body size. 1 more breath. Slowly with your inhale, lift your chest, bring that arm back. So what we're gonna do is take the blocks, and you might require a 3rd block. If you do, I'll get it. We're gonna put the elbows on the block. So the one thing is if your arms go out to the sides like this, the stretch is not that great. It's not bad, it's just not the point of it. We want the arm, like forearm plank, to stretch up this way, not that way. I'm gonna put the elbows down, and this is too wide. You can see that my elbows are wider than my shoulders here. So I'm gonna bring it a little bit closer. And then I'm gonna walk my elbows forward, because really I'm gonna be on this part of my arm when I lean back. So now I'm gonna take my knees wide. And then as I pull back, I'm adjusting so that my elbows don't split out to the sides. Really, you know, if hands in prayer is too tight, you can rest your thumbs on your upper back. You can rest your palms on your upper back. It's important that the head is on the ground. So I'm gonna come and get a 3rd head rest. Because you want to be able to release the jaw and release the back of the neck. Releasing the bottom back of the skull. And this you can progressively kind of take longer. All my stuff here in the middle of the floor. So into your nose, inhale. And as you let it out of your mouth, allow the lower jaw to disengage from the upper jaw. And then you take some breaths in and out of the nose, but they're kind of drawing up the back underneath the arm, underneath the armpit, breathing into the side of the pec. Breathing to the sides of the rib cage, like visualize the rib cage expanding and spreading with your inhale, collapsing and shrinking and softening with your exhale. The little spaces between the ribs, inhaling and filling up and spreading, making space. And then those spaces collapsing with your exhale. Maybe you picture like an accordion or a slinky type energy to the sides of the waist, the ribs, even the spine. Getting longer with the inhales. Softening down with the exhales. Breathing. We're gonna do a 3-part breath. 3-part meaning 3-part inhale, full exhale, just giving the ribs a bigger, longer chance to expand. So you take a full breath into your nose. And then just sigh it out of everywhere, every pore, emptying. And then you close your mouth. Into the nose, you inhale one small bit, just 1/3 of an inhale. Hold it. Inhaling 2/3, sipping in that little bit more. Again, you seal it, you hold. Inhaling all the way up to full, very full, very full, very full. Pause. Hold it, but unclench something. And then how slow, how gently out your mouth, like slow down the exhale, but let it out your mouth. Get all the way to empty. Closing your mouth, and then 1/3 of an inhale, and you pause. Maybe the tip of the tongue is at the roof of the mouth. And then into the nose, inhaling more, now 2/3 full. And again, you pause. Into the nose, all the way up to full, extra full, unclenching, softly holding. Slowly opening the mouth, gently letting it out, little by little by little by little by little to empty. And then last one. Into your nose, 1/3. Pause. Into your nose, 2/3. Holding it. Into your nose, all the way up to full. Slowly sighing it out, and then you're gonna allow your arms to drape out to straight, one at a time. One arm kind of circles to straight. You let them hang over the blocks or the bolster, and you wiggle your butt closer to your heels. So now more of the forearm is supported. Kind of wiggle back, and you just let the hands dangle. And breathe. Ten breaths. Into the nose. Side out. Yup, slowly wiggle back a little further. And the next shape before we sit up is if you're like this-ish, right? You're gonna pull back. Bring the blocks with you. They're gonna go alongside you tall. And then the upper arm is again gonna get the support. And this could also be like this. The idea is that the block is helping lift the shoulder up off the arm without you having to do it. And your arms are going kind of straight back. So the block doesn't have to be like up under the shoulder head, it can be wider, just under your bicep. And then maybe that other thing under your head, if I need to bring it closer. Is it tall enough? Let's bring it this way a little bit. Your head okay like that, Dad? You want another block? Think about 10 breaths. And then we'll stretch using the ball sideways with the rib cage. Roll. Into your nose. Out of the spine. Five breaths. To your nose. Sigh it right on out. Slowly peeling yourself up so you're kind of sitting on your heels. And then roll the shoulders back a few times. And then lift your head up. We're gonna lean over to your right side, which is my left, but I'm gonna go with you. And we're gonna side bend over. And you can lift your arm and really let it be about the side of your waist stretching. And then also allow your hips to shift. Like let them dump away from the side bend. Yep, there you go. And then pull the hips back into the middle and upright your chest. Yep, so the first part of the side bend is keeping the hips where they are. And the second part is lifting and shifting the hips away from your side bend and letting it go deeper. And then pull the hips up and in and upright yourself. Right now, this time we're gonna twist. So you turn to the right, let the right hand come down behind you. And we're gonna lift the arm, lift your butt, lift your chest, take an inhale. Exhale, lower your butt down and turn your chest to that side. Like drop your left arm in front of you. Let it come towards the wrist of the other arm. And then inhale, lift up. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. Take the arm up. Inhale. Exhale, sitting down, turning to the right, reaching the arm across your chest. Reach for the tricep of the grounded arm now. Right, inhale the arm up. Turn your chest up. Big breath in. Exhale, reach the lifted arm forward, lower your butt, lift your chest up, and then unwind your twist. Right, so then we'll turn the other way. Left hand comes down behind you, turn the right palm up, lift up, lift your chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, as you lower your butt, turn to that side, over the left side. Drop the arm towards the opposite wrist. And then inhale, come up and turn your head towards the sky. Exhale, lower down, turn to the side. This time reach for the tricep, the shoulder of the grounded arm. Inhale, come up, unwind. Exhale, lower your butt. Reach your arm forward, upright your chest, and then unwind your twist. You can bring your arms down, or maybe spiral the torso a couple times. Then we're gonna take the ball. Okay, so we're gonna go side lying over the ball to stretch this way. When we have more people, there's another ball that I want. For stretching. which is like the massage ball, but a larger size. It's inflatable, but then we can roll out all this area with it. So with this, we're gonna go right over the side of the ribs, and you're gonna. I'm just not on my mat so you can see me, but you can be on your mat. We're gonna side bend. You can have the bottom leg a little bit bent. I didn't say. So your arms are kind of overhead. You can fold your wrists around each other and turn your palms to face each other. The gaze can be, down towards the floor if you have your ear tucked behind the grounded arm. The gaze could be up towards the ceiling if you have your ear tucked in front of the grounded arm. Just depends. But you let the hands rest, let the arms rest. It's gonna take a minute at least before the rib cage starts to soften. We're going to do that 3-part breath again. So you just take a full body, big inhale, and then open mouth, sigh it out. Beginning 1/3 of an inhale into your nose. Pause. 2/3 of an inhale, fill up the side of the rib cage that's exposed. Pause. Inhale to full all the way up that side of the body, feel it spread, and then exhale, gently sigh it out. 2 more rounds. Find the side of your waist. Inhale 1/3 of a breath up the side. Pause. Inhale 2/3 of a breath up that side and pause. Inhale all the way up to full, the side of the rib cage, extra full, unclench, and then sigh it out. Let yourself melt. 1 more round. Into the nose, 1/3 full, side of your head. Into the nose, 2/3 full, side of the rib cage. Into the nose, all the way to full, the entire side of the body swelling. And then sigh it out. 5 relaxed breaths. To the nose. Out of your mouth. Little by little, you're going to shimmy and turn your chest just below the sternum, so below the breast, onto the ball, and the legs are back. And I might come and put your blanket under your ankles. So not up here, but down here, just below the chest if you can. Right in the middle. Pulse if you need something else for under the forehead. Like that. And then what you're gonna do is arms. The arms can go down, wide, or forward. or W shaped. Yeah, right there. Okay. Into the nose and then out of the back of your neck. Exhale. Okay. You can let the heels kind of twist away from each other and the big toes turn towards each other. Into the nose. Side out the ears. Arms wide or forward. And kind of a stretch across the wingspan. One more minute. And breaths. Eyebrows. Nose. Over the mouth. Just wiggling the fingers and toes a little bit. Maybe bending the knees and rocking the shins left to right a little. Throwing the toes under, just swishing the heels back and forth, and moving your hands close. And lifting your chest, and you're gonna slowly turn onto your second side with the ball up under the rib cage on that side too. Maybe you have two straight legs, or maybe the bottom leg will be a little bit bent. And then you might stretch both arms overhead, and you can clasp hands, or like fold your wrists around each other. And really, letting the ribs, the sides of the waist, make a rainbow shape over the ball. Giving up on resistance, but kind of allowing yourself to sink into gravity. So maybe you can just bend your left leg a little bit more, like touch your foot a little behind you, the bottom, and it'll help you out. Not gonna take it. Come back to the breath, and find little places like just the very center between the eyebrows. You take an inhale right there and exhale, let the eyebrows soften. Do that 3-part breath again. So you maybe take a walk with your mind's eye up the side of the body that's exposed. You're all on different sides. I'm not saying right and left. I'm just gonna say the top side, the exposed side. So from that ankle, you're gonna inhale up the shin, outer hip, outer waist, armpit, all the way to your hands, swell. And then exhale, collapse. Right? Inhale, kind of spreading the sides of the ribs, the waist, the side of the chest, the pec. And then exhale, sighing it out, and you have a little pause. We're gonna come back to that third breath. So into your nose, you inhale up 1/3 and you pause. Inhaling up 2/3, and again, you pause. Inhaling all the way up to full, extra full, your rainbow shape over the ball, and then out the mouth real slow. Inhaling 1/3. Inhaling 2/3. Inhaling all the way, full. Out you pour, you sink, you soften, deflate. The ribs contract, the lung shrink, and then one more. 1/3, a little bit, into your nose, into the hip. 2/3, medium breath, into the ribs, into the waist. Inhale all the way up to full, the chest, the neck, the head. Sigh it out, melting. Unresisting, opposite of resistance. One more minute. And breaths. That other, you're gonna take 5 more runs. Instead of rolling onto the chest again, we're gonna roll onto the back body. 5 runs. into the nose. Full body side. Maybe you just wiggle your toes and fingers a little bit. Right, bringing the hands, the top arm close for support on the floor, bending the legs and informing onto your back. Feet flat and the knees bent, so you kind of back that hip to the wall. Powers of just like that. You might decide to have to rock under your head or have this rock like that. I would start with bent knees and feet wide, just so you can figure out exactly where you want the ball. You might lift the butt up and set it down a time or two. And if that all feels really good and the head is supported, then you want to straighten out the legs after 10 or so breaths. Do that. We spend about 2 minutes like this, and then we're gonna get the phone call and go up. Allow yourself to soften, widen, be heavy. Finding the breath, kind of searching between the fingers of the ribs and spreading with the inhale. Softening, widening with the exhales, spreading.
Controls and making some. Take your road.
Deep, 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 deep inhale, and maybe an open mouth, audible. Exhale.
Songs. Song. And make God's love be with you. Now it's time to be the natural champions.
Swallow.
Make the tongue to ground control.
Tongue relaxes.
I'm stepping through the door.
Being soft.
I'm floating in a moment of peculiar ways. The stars look very different today. For you. My wife fights for very much. Brown
Into the nose, really big, really full. Out of the back of the neck. And breath. Five breaths. Into the nose. Sigh it out. Wiggle the toes. Maybe drag the feet close and wide to you, close but wide from each other, and then drop the knees right and left several times. And then pick a side to drop them over to and just let them twist. Feeling your back, just got your knees bent and drop them to the side. Like this, big breath in. Right out. And then slowly the knees come up and they fold back and forth till they settle over to the other side. Couple rounds. You know, take an even inhale, sigh it out. If you want to rock the knees back and forth again, please do, or pick a side to kind of turn over onto and curl up and take a few breaths, just curled up on your side on the mat. Fetal position. And take a few breaths. The next thing we're gonna do is use the massage ball. So. Maybe sit up. Change it. Out the ball, go out forward. So. Oh, that would be a funny costume, a magician that has like the, like the resistance band that doesn't end and then they throw the balls. Okay, so I'll turn this way. And we're gonna start on the right side of the spine, and the main area that we're gonna concentrate on is this little band between the spine and the shoulder blade and the rhomboid area. So maybe the ball is gonna travel up and down that much, if that is the length of my shoulder. And I'm gonna start kind of low, and when I lay back, Okay, so that I know where I want it, not too much wiggling. I'm gonna take my arm and lift it up, and I'm gonna take an inhale and let myself kind of twist away from the ball, like pulling mainly the shoulder blade away. And then as I lay flat, opening this arm out to the side. So now I can feel the shoulder blade bumping up almost underneath the ball, but not quite. And then I'm gonna peel out again. And then I'm gonna wiggle because I need to get, oh yeah, that's the spot. And then I'm opening the shoulder blade, and now we're gonna lay like this. Right there. So. Yeah, and you can have bent knees, it looks better with straight legs, that's fine too. But I would suggest lifting your elbow up away from the floor. Maybe with an inhale, turning away from the ball and actually folding that arm across your chest. And then exhale, opening the arm out on the floor as you lay yourself out on the ball. And if the ball is too low or too high or too much into your spine, you don't like it, then, twist and lift your arm up, readjust up or down a centimeter, a millimeter, and then lay yourself. You're probably gonna find a pretty gnarly, area. If you find that, soften and breathe onto it. Don't just completely, get past it, but let yourself. The other thing you can also do after you've taken 5 or 10 breaths in the spot is you can stay in that spot, but then you can extend your arms straight overhead towards the hole. See how that? I saw you making all kinds of things. Okay. It's a rock, a yard, and I think one day you just find that rock. Because it's really distracting from the other thing. Can't use a rock, to go across all this hard enough. So you might also lift your arm and make some swivels like this. Move your arm, slow. Let it turn around the ball. And maybe the ball needs to go up closer to the top of the inner edge of the shoulder. Breathe. Working yourself up, towards the top inner border of the shoulder blade, the spot elevator, start kidding. You'll start to feel it go up your neck, the stretch. Turn the head left and right. Lift it lower the elbow. So I'll show you the next spot. Yeah, up here. Right. Soft. Minute there, and we'll walk the right side. To the side, maybe contrast, or maybe alternate ceiling, maybe just let our breast, gravity kind of do it. And more breath on the spot. Oh, nice, my neck just cracked. And for a breath. You're probably gonna have to use your hand when it's time to reposition the ball a little bit higher on top of the trap, just next to C7, that big bony landmark in the middle of your neck. But on the right side of it a little bit. So we're gonna start to, you kind of lift the head up off the floor and lay it back down. You can let your head turn to the right. Turn to the left. And when your head is in the middle, you can tilt your chin up to the ceiling. You can tuck your chin under. Find that nice spot on the ball, and if you need to readjust and roll the ball a little millimeter up or down, or left or right, do that. And roll that right side of the neck out, up towards the bottom of the skull on the right side, and there's a bony landmark, the occiput. Push the ball right into the bottom crest ridge of the skull. Turn your head a teeny bit to and fro. Every time you put the ball in a new placement along the right side of the neck, those turns left and right. Just the right side. After we get up to the skull, we'll just roll it back down to the bottom shoulder blade, and then we'll switch it over to the other side. And this is why the soft red ball is not a hard lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. Incrementally working your way up towards the skull. Ridge of the skull. Deep breath. Let it out. 10 more breaths here. Wherever you are with the neck.
I don't understand. Just my job, I hate you.
Hot breath. Red. Start to work the ball back down with the starting from the very bottom tip of the shoulder blade on the right side. Little by little down the neck, down the trap, down. You're gonna work maybe take 1, 2, 3 breaths in each position. A little landmark breaths. Roll it down, breaths. Roll it down, breaths. Getting there, and then of course, take away the ball for a moment. Just lay it flat and notice how the right side feels. Notice how the left side feels. The place didn't work yet. The difference in the density, the frequency of the action. Where the most difficult right now, the most difficult is in my ears. Difference of that. You've got, when you take a note of the differences, you're gonna switch the ball over to the left side, in between the spine and the bottom of the shoulder blade. Right, and we'll start with that, kind of lifting the left arm into kind of a bent kick going out to the side. The elbow comes up and over across the chest, like you're gonna roll off of the ball. And then slowly open that left arm out to the side and lay flat on the ball. Then do it a couple more times. Inhale, lift and twist. Exhale, soften out to flat, open the arm out gently and slowly. Don't go to pain, pull back before pain. What are you looking at? Then you see if you can just lay on the ball. Noticing how the resistance has the ribs kind of poking up towards the ceiling, so you take an inhale with that. Exhale, let yourself soften down. Like the back could widen. Maybe there's a little bit of wiggling the chest left to right. Up and down, you scrub over that one rib. Maybe the butt lifts up and lowers back down. More breaths. The adjustment is kind of lifting your body weight up a little bit, rolling the ball up higher an inch, a centimeter. Lift your arm up, the left arm, turn away from the ball, and then open the arm out again. Making that adjustment at least 2 more times, curling up away from the ball with your arm, laying the ribs out over the ball, letting the shoulder blade get pushed the ball right into the rhomboid. And then you sink down. The legs could straighten. Maybe you rock your chest left to right a little from here. Forward and back a little bit. And then sink again. 5 breaths. You know, sighing it out. Kind of poking the chest up and rolling the ball further up. You probably have to lift your head, scoot your butt. If you're getting up towards the top inner corner a little bit, you're just below that. Lifting now the arm straight up, like you could tuck your fist kind of behind your ear and the elbow goes up towards the side and then comes back down. And your arm goes up. Comes back down, and maybe the next time your arm goes up, you circle it out to the side and start to make some circles with that wing. 2 or 3 times extra slow in both directions. And then at some point, you let the arm rest out to the side or overhead, whichever one feels better to you. Slightly bent, it's not straight. You can definitely poke the chest up and rock side to side. Just rub the ball there and then lay back down. Pull back a little bit. Don't push so hard onto it so that it's really painful. A little bit of work then. Or move it a little bit away from this. Right, we're gonna go further up the neck, which is about 5 more breaths here. Right out. So the one little you lift, you roll the ball a little further up. Now it just goes over the top corner of the shoulder blade, the elevator scapula, and it's very sensitive spot. Attachment happens. Muscle to ball and muscle to it. You lift and lower the head. Maybe you turn your head left to right. Maybe it's tilting the nose, the chin up, to the sky and then drop. More breath for the spot. And then we'll go up the neck. Getting there. Eyebrows. Breath into your nose. Side out your mouth. Lifting just enough to move the ball further up along the left side of the neck, just slow. Letting itself sink down. Maybe the head has to turn a little bit. Left and right with the head. Getting the ball further up towards the opposite foot, the very bottom ridge of the skull on the left side. Maybe you have, like, I have my right hand kind of supporting the back of my head as I turn it along the ball. Manipulating the neck. Left and right. Might as well take advantage of the fact that we're up here with the ball and maybe move it if you're up towards the top of the neck yet, or when you get there. Right to the very center of the base of the skull, where the neck meets the skull. The very center of the occiput, and you kind of let the ball go into that divot. Rock the head a little bit and you let it sink there. Very center of the neck. Around that C7, the bony, larger bone that sticks out. Not pushing directly into the bone, but around it. And more breaths on the neck. Into your nose. Out of the mouth, out of the jaw, out of the eyes. Little by little by little by little, as you find yourself ready, you're gonna work that ball down the neck. We will all little landmarks, 2, 3, 4 breaths on each spot. As we work back down to the inner border of the shoulder blade where we started. And then close the ball, and we'll finish with the foam roller before we rest. Just to bring symmetry into it and some more stretching. as opposed to the tiny point work, so you get all that tiny pointed work in the wall. And now we're gonna use the roller for our next finishing stretch. Two shapes for it. Shape A is gonna be here. And then of course shape B will be on that. So, almost like child pose with your upper arms propped up on the roller, and you can start with your hands and let your forehead come down to the mat. It's not too deep of a stretch, the knees can be wide. And then you kind of lift your head and you inhale, you feel yourself up like cat cow. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, feel up, scared, Halloween cat. Exhale, sink down, and then somewhere medium, rolling forward and back a little bit. Getting the roller closer to your elbows. I can extend my elbows here and just revisit that stretch from the beginning of class one last time. You don't have to, but if you want to, it's there. Just straight arms. And we're gonna come back to that thread the needle stretch one more time as well. So take about 10 more breaths here down the middle. Now try to mirror you. Try to stand strong. 5 breaths. Into your nose. Side out. Turn it up a little bit. Left hand is gonna stay on the wall. Right arm is gonna go to the side and even hand. And then exhale, thread that needle all the way through. This time the arm and the head will come down, the roll will go a little bit out, so you have 2 straight arms. Twist. Five breaths. Full body size. One breath. Come in, you're gonna feel the roll in with you a little bit for support, and the right arm can go all the way back up to the sky for the stretch. And then you'll find the roller. We'll switch sides. Left arm gets up, stretch to the waist. And then exhale, thread that needle all the way through. Once you get the shoulder and the head down, then roll the other arm out. Use your arms. You let your hand just flop over the thing. And you breathe. Five breaths. Winding, reaching that arm up, shake it out, sit back down, and the very last thing we're gonna do before we rest, it's not even too much, too long. You can have the block, the blanket back here under your head, but we'll lift the butt and we'll roll back and forth a little bit. Up to the neck. Down the ribs, you can curl up like this, you can drop back. If you find a spot where you're like, oh, I wanna put my butt down, I wanna drop my head and my elbows back. Out the spine and the ribs like a rolling pin in reverse. Yeah, you need to be bent. Follow if you want, and if you got nothing, just lay out flat. One more minute, moving, that thing's gonna get away from you, go there. Oh, laying out flat for you then right here. Oh. Yep. Nothing but a shavasana after this. I'll put on a more relaxing. Is it 15? Whatever favorite shape that is.
Somebody call what's your
Spread, palms release to up. Legs are allowed to widen and just roll out. The head rolls and rolls left to right a couple of times. Until it stops in the middle and you allow the jaw to fall apart with an exhale. We'll take one more big breath together. Inhale the whole day. Up and in, and then you sigh it out. Savasana.
It's standing right in front of me. Thinking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper away, let it be. A broken heart, people living in the world. There's no reason, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me, shine on till tomorrow, let it be. Sound the music, Mother Mary brings close to me, singing words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be.
Literally with that next inhale. Throwing yourself back in to the room. Into your body. One side or the other. Wiggling the toes. Deep breath, and you curl the palms.
Maybe spreading the arms. Opening them overhead for that long stretch. And then curling up. Rocking and shifting and coming back piece by piece. And make your way up to a seat. Shoulders on the back, heart rises up. Inhale, we'll glide the arms up, circling, collecting the palms together. Exhaling the hands, create that seal in front of the heart. So much, my dearest ones.